Hi traders, this is Blake Morrow. You were listening to the Lunch Money webinar, and if you guys haven't noticed, the euro is actually brushing into new highs. Real quick, I just want to cover a couple of things. I just actually added to my euro pound short. I got filled. Just to let you guys know. I covered, okay, just minutes ago. So I was short the euro pound. Covered half of it below 86. I just sold it again as we rallied to previous support. So just letting you guys know that, just because it just got tripped just now, right there. But I want to kind of talk a little bit about really quick before I do the before I start doing analysis on all the majors. First and foremost, I actually got caught in some yen trades. I got caught in some yen trades last night. I actually was short the dollar yen. I shorted the dollar yen. I was trading pretty small, but still, it kind of really irritated me last night. We were trading right here. The dollar yen started to fall, and it was like at 99.96 or something like that. And I shorted dollar yen. I think I shorted the Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, or New Zealand yen and Canadian yen maybe. And we were down to this 99.60, and everything was going great. And then all of a sudden, announcement like the Bank of Japan and Ministry of Finance and the might have a meeting. Dollar yen spiked back up, and I just closed them. I'm just like, just irritated. I took some quick losses, and as I told you guys many times over the last couple of weeks, it's August trading. You don't want to get caught in a position where you're you get stuck on the wrong side too aggressively. It's hard to pull out. When you are in a losing trade in a low liquidity environment, you can't let those trades get away from you, because it's hard to make that money back because it's so choppy out there. So anyway, so I took some quick losses there, and I was already mad when that happened, because the Aussie employment data came out and that ripped up on me. I'm still short the Aussie. I'm still short at 77.13, my cost average. But I mean, I was, down here, I was up 100 pips, and then, then I'm back to break even. I was so irritated last night. It was like beyond irritating how irritated I was last night at my trading. But then, then I got up this morning, and I did really well with the pound New Zealand. I sold that. I bought that, a couple of days ago down here. You guys probably, some of you might be in, might have been long. I got out of that this morning. I got out of the pound Aussie. I took profits, bought that a couple of days ago down here, sold it, made a couple hundred pips on each of those. And then the euro pound, as you guys know, I was aggressively short above 87. I got limited into most of my trade at 87.15. You guys remember when I got short that 2 days ago? Anyway, I closed that out this morning, well, half of it, and then I just reshorted the other half just moments ago. So that was good. I was happy that I made some money in the cable, but overall, I have to say the last couple of weeks has just been more of a gerbil exercise for me. I feel like a gerbil in an exercise ball. That's those gerbil balls. Not the Richard Gere gerbil balls. Oh, did I just actually say that? I did. Did I? I didn't. No, that was. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. No, I feel like I'm in one of these. This is me right now. Yeah, I'm in a. Ooh, here. Oh wait. I'm in a gerbil ball. I feel like, man, that's not gonna come up. I feel like I'm in one of those. Yeah, that's me, spinning around in a gerbil ball, going absolutely nowhere. That's how I felt like the last couple of weeks. So it was nice to book some profits this morning. After just feeling I've been put in the ringer the last couple of weeks. So if you are in that situation, or you're in that, if you feel the same way, it's August, and I'm just so I'm like upset with myself that I didn't sit in that I didn't take profits in the Aussie yesterday. But what are you going to do? I still, longer term, I still look at the charts and still think, okay, I'm bearish here. So it's not a big deal. I still feel that the Aussie dollar is eventually going to fall from the top of this triangle. But it is, man, and damn, it's been frustrating. I'll tell you that much. All right, we've got to get through the analysis of all the majors. So let's go ahead and get that done. But first and foremost, hold on. I gotta say something to somebody on Twitter. I don't think so. I think that that the majority of the short positions will stay for a long period of time. Somebody's asking me if the record shorts of the cable are going to get squeezed out, and the answer to that question is no. You have to realize that people are very short the cable, and that positioning, in my opinion, is not going to change. It's not going to change for a long time. Everybody's the institutional positioning in the pound is going to stay short for a long time going through Brexit. We'd have to get above 135 pretty aggressively to really start squeezing people out. That's my opinion regarding the pound. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the euro dollar. Now, remember, this is a daily candle, and it is. And let me remove this really fast. This is a daily candle, and we still have a lot of time left in today. So just because you look at the daily candle right now, and in the euro dollar, and you go, oh my God, that's so bullish, we're breaking out. Remember, by the end of the day, we could actually be down at the bottom of the candle, and we could show a shooting star. So don't get married. First of all, you shouldn't get married to anything. Take it from me, kids. Don't get married, and don't have kids either. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking about that. As far as trading goes, don't get married to your trades, especially when you're looking at a daily candle and there's so much time left in today. And I always get questions from Europeans like, hey Blake, the end of my day is today. Look, if I was a European, not because I'm American, if I was a European, I would use charts that have a close at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern, not at the close of European trade. And I'm not saying that because I'm an American. I'm saying that because that's the end of the day, because the start of the new day is actually in New Zealand, all right? So the North America is the very tail end of the calendar day, So yeah, I know some of you have, a UK broker, or a broker, some brokers out of Europe, and they may have different data points, and you're like, well, my daily candle closed. Well, I know most traders that I know use North American closes, not because America is great, we're American, and everybody should use American products, and America, nothing to do with that. It's more of it's the end of the day, like the calendar day, like the new day starts, and it's like when you celebrate New Year. New Year starts in New Zealand and then Australia, and then it makes its way around, and then here in the United States and in North America, we're usually, the last ones to celebrate. You guys celebrate way before us. It's that type of thing. It has nothing to do with, I'm American, although I am American. You should use American products. Damn it, we all drink beer and drive lots of trucks, big trucks, and we have big hair, big everything. You know what I'm saying? America. All right. So anyway. This candle could actually close lower by the end of the day, by the end of the North American trading today, so don't get too attached to it. All right, anyway, we also have the 618 retracement at 113.47, okay? And also, we have 161% extension of this last move down. So this is all very important. You can see it. Okay, here, let me grab this right here. Damn it, American, American, we love America. That's right. I'm gonna choke on myself trying to say that. Okay, 161% extension right there, 618 right there. We have a confluence of fibs. So if we can make it up to 131.50, look, I think it would be a good short there because you can keep your risk very manageable. Don't tell anybody else I said that, but come on, right? And we're also on the underside of this trend line too, which, you notice the couple of days before, see the long wicks struggling up here. So if you can get a short off at 113.50, why not? 113.50. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Support. So where support is for the euro dollar, probably going to be a little tricky today. I still think I personally still think it's 112.30. I mean, this is what's going to shake the trees of anybody that's long. See this line right here? This is the breakout point, right? And I know we wrote it down yesterday. It's 112.30. So and you can see this 4-hour, crazy candle that we have here. Any drop below 112.30, I don't think you're going to shake the confidence of anybody that's long until that breaks. You can probably just go, take this lower trend line and it'll look something like that. I'm being kind of rough with my analysis here, not too precise, if you will. But if you come back and break through that 112.30, I think that's what. If I was long, which I'm not, but if I was long, I would say, okay, well, as long as it's above 112.30, I'm not worried about it. You know what I mean? I'm going to put this in our range environment because we're obviously in a big ass range. And also keep in mind that we are testing the underside of the trend line right through here. Okay, let's go over to the cable. Now, I got the question about the pound about the shorts being squeezed out. Look, the cable was a really nice pickup the last couple of days. You guys were with me. Buying or shorting the euro pound a couple of days ago, buying the pound Aussie 2 days ago. Then you got confirmation yesterday. We had Steve Volge from Athens. He was on here yesterday. He just basically confirmed everything. And hopefully you guys made some good money being long the cable. We had 161% extension here on the pound dollar. We broke through all this resistance that we talked about yesterday, right? You look at all the, I had all the little, this is all drawn for you, right? As soon as we broke that 130, well, actually, once we cleared it in a big way, then I guess it was really good. But, this is all really, it's a really big move. And, now the question is it done? And I don't know. I'd be a little careful being short, being long the cable now. We just basically hit a 618, or really damn close, right? From the last drop, that 618 comes in. Look at this spike high right here. I guess the question I'd be asking you is what's your risk reward if you're buying the pound right now? What are you going to risk down here to make this, to make that? I mean, you have a really skewed risk reward if you're going long right now, right? I think personally it's a better short here. I mean, we've gone from 128.70 to 121.70 or 131.70. That's a 300 pip rally just over the course of the last couple of days. Why not get on the short side here and put in a 40, 50 pip stop and then look for a 60, 70 pip move to the downside. Now I'm not going to do that, but I'm just saying your risk reward is really skewed here. All right. So resistance right now is 131.75, 131.80, because I'm American. That's right. American people. Love America. And then support. Let's get rid of all this stuff. And by the way, my computer absolutely crapped the bed yesterday. I don't know what happened. Uh, it just shut down and restarted. Like I went to answer a Skype call, and then my computer just absolutely just restarted. Fortunately, it restarts in about a minute, so it just like actually probably like 30 seconds. But it's like, yeah, my computer shut down. So what that means is I also didn't save all the lines that I drew yesterday because it didn't automatically save. It just killed everything. All right, support should be pretty strong on a move back down to 130.60. I would say. I don't. Let's just assume that's the top, which I don't even know if that's the top because I don't know if we've peaked yet. But a 38% retracement comes in. If that is truly the top intraday, then a 38% retracement comes down here. So I would say 130.60 probably support. Not great support, but it is support. Okay. Um, it is still bearish, guys, and I don't. Okay, you guys know, and I had this big long talk with you yesterday morning, and I'm gonna have the talk with you again today. While it's below 135, it is bearish. This is a weekly. This is a weekly chart. We are at historic, well, not historic, but multi-decade lows in the pound, and we're consolidating below 135. As long as we stay below 135, it is not bullish. Okay? But I told you I'm buying the pound, and I bought it. I'm counter trend trading it long. I bought the pound against several currencies. You guys know all that. And I said I'm not opposed to trading counter trend. It's just when you know you're trading counter trend, you take smaller positions. Period. End of story. Okay? Period. End of story. All right. That's all there is to it. It's not um, it's not anything more than that. Hold on really quick. Sorry. But when you're trading counter trend, you just got to be really careful here. All right, so there's the pound, there's the support, there's the resistance. Let's go into the Swissy. Oh shoot, I just realized what time it is. I gotta move a little bit. Okay, so here's the Swissy. Swissy's cleared support. Somebody asked me earlier, hey Blake, are you gonna buy the Swissy? I'm not comfortable buying the Swissy. I'm not. I mean, we're about a 786 retracement down here. We're closing in on it. There's some support, but man, Swissy's not looking all that great. And if this market goes a little risk off, guess what? You know, the Swiss franc might come in might come into demand a little bit. So, the answer to that question is no. I'm not really comfortable. I'm gonna have to see. I'll probably have to see this broken, like a close back above 96.30. I think that's going to be good resistance today. And support, I mean, might be down here at 95.55, but 95.50. I'll write that down. 50, and then we have to get back above 96.30 to take the downside pressure off, and it is in a big range. Big range. Like big range, obviously. All right, let's go over to the yen. Now, the yen, the yen keeps probing below this 100, and I'll tell you, guys, and I shorted it yesterday, and it came up in my face a little bit. But I'll tell you this much: this dollar yen's trading heavy. I mean, you got the S&Ps, trading at all-time highs, and the Dow, and a lot of markets that are just extremely bullish, and the dollar yen can't get its move on. Yen's been in demand aggressively. I don't know if it makes sense shorting the dollar yen right now, but I'll tell you, I wouldn't be surprised to see the dollar yen break through new trend lows, especially looking at futures this morning that don't look all that great. Um, Support right now is going to be at 99.55, and that's where I think I'm going to put an asterisk there, because I think that if you're, or if anybody's out there buying the dollar yen, they're using just these lows as stops, and because you don't want to risk past that, obviously. All right. Um, Flip side to that is, where does this thing really actually start squeezing? I mean, I think we have to get it. We have to get back above 100.70, to really, really squeeze it. But I'll tell you, if stocks come under pressure, this thing's going to buckle. Okay, so I keep going back to the idea, and I'm going to stop here for a second. I Let's go to the dollar yen, and let's go here, okay? And let's go. Let me get rid of this long-term charts that we've had. You go back to the dollar yen, and you go back to these arguments. When you were down in 82, making our way up to 95, you got people like Kyle Bass. Yen's going to 200. Japan's economy is screwed. People like him, right? And then you got the what's the guy from Shark Tank? Mark Cuban. So you got Mark Cuban. I've converted everything over to yen. From for moved, just basically did a massive shift from dollars to yen and to short yen. And how many of those longer term players have seen this move from, like, because if you think about every bank, I'm not talking like any bank or one bank, I'm talking about every bank. You're talking about every bank and every institution. Everybody has seen this massive, exercise of monetary easing policy out of Japan, Abe's cabinet, the Abe, the Abe leadership, and nothing they do can weaken the yen. Nothing can weaken the yen. At what point? I mean, if you're a longer term player, an institutional guy, and you truly believe that the yen is going back to like 200, 300, why, if it was at 120 and it dropped to 110, don't you just double your position then? If it's at one, if you're like, if you're a Kyle Bass, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen the massive amount of redemptions that guy's had out of his hedge fund. Once hot hedge fund trader guy out of Houston, whatever his capital, whatever it's called, I forget what his name. Look, when you drop down to 110 to 105, I mean, how many people just didn't double up there and say, dude, this is a great opportunity to get short more yen? And now you're sitting at 100 yen, and you're like, well, damn, if I liked it at 120, I definitely like it at 100. At what point do they just get taken out to get slaughtered? That's what makes me very skeptical about being long or short yen right now. If this equity markets roll over, and by the way, we are hitting lows in futures right now. I don't know if you're watching this, but the futures are rolling over right now. If that continues, this yen could start breaking down. My opinion is those guys need to get shaken out, and shaken out bad. Like all the Cubans and the Kyle Basses of the world. We need to see 95 yen and shake them lower, right? I mean, those guys have to get destroyed. And I don't know. That's my opinion. That's why I have a real difficult time right now trying to buy yen related products. In other words, selling yen and buying like euro yen, dollar yen, pound yen, Aussie yen. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Can't physically do it. All right, guys, I'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. When I come back, we got a crap load of stuff to do. So I've been chatting. I've been a little chatterbox today. Back in a few. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow, and you are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I'm falling a little bit, I'm actually really behind schedule right now, so I'm going to get moving. Got to get it moving. We're going to get it grooving. That's right, we're going to move it. All right, so it is 5 o'clock in the morning, and I am singing to you guys right now. How funny is that? All right, what am I doing? Dollar Canadian. Okay, we're going to move quickly, so just bear with me. Dollar Canadian. All right, so, all right. Dollar Canadian, I don't know if you guys noticed this. We actually came back yesterday. We retested. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Just, I think I'm still feeling the aftershock of Guns N' Roses the other night. So what we did is we came back and retested the underside of this trend line, which means that this is extremely important for bears. If you're bearish the dollar Canadian, you do not want to see it back above 129.20. 129.20, major resistance. It is bearish. Support right now is, I'd say 128, right? And then we have the 618, 127.55. So I'm going to write both of those numbers down. 127.55, 128. Again, I'm going to move quickly, guys. Not messing around. Okay, Kiwi dollar. Ah, God. Okay, here's the Kiwi. So the Kiwi, another spike up into 73 last night, following the Australian jobs report. 73.20 to 72. That's you know what? Here, I'm gonna delete all this. Let me delete that. Delete that. Draw this from yesterday. Remember, all my drawings from yesterday got they got removed, so I have to redraw everything. So 72 as we drew yesterday, big support, resistance 73.20. That's all there is to it. You happen to be right in the middle of the range right now. All right. So so you make the choice. You want to short the Kiwi here? You know you're in the middle of the range. You know, be very careful. And then here's the daily, and you see the daily upsloping channel, as you see, is up there. Okay, Aussie dollar. Here's the Aussie. You know, thank God it's rolling over. I'm, you know, so irritated with this stupid Aussie. It's like, man, why did I not take profits yesterday? I don't understand. Remember, we were at or near a 38% retracement. Okay. Oh yeah, because I was targeting the 50% retracement. That's what I was. We wrote down support as 75, 90 yesterday. So actually, it looks like 76 is going to be more important support. Oop. I'll do. $76, $77.50. You know, this range is, you know, gotten the best of me too. It hasn't gotten the best of me, but it's definitely frustrating me for sure. There's the range. Okay, dollar index. Dollar index, we are sitting on support, big support here. Here's that. I wouldn't be short the the dollar right now. I mean, you, you know, you can try shorting the dollar if you want, but you're really on key support here. And I know Steve showed this exact same thing that we had. I didn't have the channel top, but he had the exact same support level. You know, we look at charts very similar, Steve and I, which is good. That's what makes us a good team on with Forex Analytics. You know, he's my colleague over there. But I'll tell you, you know, this is really key support. You know, as we approach this 94 and a quarter. Now, if we break that, 94.25, if we break that, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong, guys. You know what I'm saying? Wow, the Aussie's really coming under pressure right now. Thank God I'm, you know, still still shorted. Um, Sorry guys, I'm just trying to. Dollar's getting a little bit of a lift against the Aussie and the Kiwi. Hmm. So I'm just sitting here looking at everything really quick. I'm wondering if I should pull some profits from the Aussie yet, or I'm thinking about it. I just haven't done so yet. Okay. Anyway, I'll deal with that in a bit. Okay. So here's the dollar index. Resistance is at 95. Period in the story. That'll take the downside pressure off the dollar. Current downside pressure, but you know it's still overall a big range. All right. Um, uh, Andrew said, and great entry, re-entry on the euro pound. Kudos to you. Nice trading, Blake. Thanks. Did anybody reshort the euro pound with me? I mean, I just added back when we got to 86.20. Hope you guys did. All right, let's take a look at the peso. Now, check it out, guys. The peso. I'm gonna have to redraw a few things here. The peso really is respecting the 618. We're at the highs of the day on the peso. Look at this hammer getting created. Things whipping all over the place. It really is. But, oh, a couple of you guys did. Great. Good, 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 good. Um, so we know the 618 is this. It looks like 18 is holding. Resistance is 1830. Okay. I would not be opposed to buying the U.S. dollar Mexican peso if things start to get a little risk averse. So 18 is support, resistance 1830, and we are in a range there. Let's go take a look at the Nordic currencies. So here's the Norwegian krona. So the Norwegian krona is in it's a very vulnerable. Now this is. You see this big triangle trend line? We're below it again. What we keep doing is we keep trying to break down and then spiking back up. It's early in the day, so anything can happen here. We can leave a long wick and get another bullish wick, but I'll tell you, I would not be bullish until we got above 825, and support is going to be 812. I think is what it is, right? And this thing breaks 812, and the Norwegian krona, in my opinion, is a buy. When I say the Norwegian krona, I'm saying long and okay. You know, whether you go short Euro Norwegian krona, short the Swedish Norwegian krona, the Norwegian krona is very close to my I want to get long, situation. Support 8. 812, 825, and we are in a range, but we are threatening to go bearish. We are threatening to turn bearish the U.S. dollar, Norwegian krona. If we start breaking through all that support. Okay, I don't think it's bearish yet. I think it's very close to. All right, all right. U.S. dollar, Swedish krona. Huh. This is the same trend line as the dollar index. Okay, so let me just say this. I'm going to say this real quick. If you are bullish dollars, the U.S. dollar Swedish krona is probably not a bad pickup here. I might actually buy a little right now and just risk below 831. I bought a little bit here. I'm risking below 831 because if we break that, we're breaking the 50% retracement. We're breaking down, and then it's more of a dollar story. Oh, I gotta put in my stop loss. Hold on. I'm gonna sit in that for a little bit. Again, this is more of a. I'll give it a shot down here. Just more of being long dollars, but if it breaks, it breaks. Okay, so 831.50, 832 will be trend line support, roughly. I'm gonna say that that's a major support level there. Resistance will be, I would say it's. Resistance is back at 845. At 845. Okay. That's where resistance is, 845. If it breaks through 845, then the downside pressure will come off of it. We are in a big range, by the way, just so you all know. It's a big range. Okay. We're just near that trend line support. Okay. So that's that. Look at the Aussie. Die, Aussie. Roll over. I like it. I feel like I've been short the Aussie for like forever. Don't you guys? I feel like I've been, even though I've only been short for a week, I feel like I've been short the Aussie for like a year and a half. Anyway, okay, I'm going to take some questions. Sorry, I had to get that bias chart done. I couldn't procrastinate any longer. Frederick says, I noticed last night a very nice channel on the US dollar.